How to keep a loose folding knife's pivot screw nice and tight. The more you open and close your knife, the more you play with them, the more you use them, you'll notice the more they tend to loosen. This has a little bit of side-to-side play, not a huge deal, but I like to keep them tight. And I can tighten this down if I wanted to, but I've already done that 3 or 4 times, and it just keeps loosening on me, which tells me the pivot screw is not properly Loctited outside of the factory. So we're going to do that ourselves. Grab yourself some blue Loctite. Make sure it's blue. This one is undoable. You can heat it up with a hair dryer. There's various techniques to undo it. And you can even unscrew this. It's not permanent, but it's just tight enough so that it won't loosen up on you, at least noticeably, when you open and close it. You can manually undo this just by unscrewing it, and I'm trying to unscrew it. Funny thing, I think it's rotating the other side. Yes, it is. So I need something to grip that down. One moment. Just grab myself a second screwdriver with the same bit. Hold that down and hopefully it... There we go. Now it's exposed. Now all we have to do is drop just a little dab of this onto the threads of the screw and then place it in there. You can just dump it inside of the hole of the pivot screw into the threads if you wish. I don't recommend you do that because if you do too much, it's going to spill, it's going to get inside the internals, and you're going to have to clean it up. So I'm just going to drop this sucker on here. It's a very, very loose liquid, so just keep that in mind. You can get everywhere. That's pretty much going to be good enough. Just a little, even a drop just like that will go a long way. Carefully drop that sucker in there. Cool. And then get it to the optimal tightness you want, because the idea is we're going to keep this knife at that tightness because of the Loctite. This knife will stay at this tension forever type of deal. So it's a little bit too tight, so I'm just going to loosen that just a little bit. I want to be able to comfortably flick out the knife, but I also want there to be as little to, if not no, horizontal play. No horizontal that I can detect right there. And it's nice and fast. So I found my optimal point right there. And then if blade centering's a concern to you, also keep that in mind, because again, we're trying to keep this like this forever, basically, until later we take it apart. Or if one day it loosens many months or years in the future, if you just keep opening and closing it. So that's pretty much it. And then from here, we obviously want to let it cure. Just give it 24 hours. Even on the directions right here, it's saying to shake this up, which I didn't tell you to do, but I've never done that before. Good idea. Just shake it up before you use it next time. It says it sets in 20 minutes and fully cures in 24 hours. So just give it 24 hours. Don't play with it. I know that may be a little bit tempting to do, but trust me, just let it sit for a day, come back the next day, and then it should be set. And you can now play with it to your heart's content without worrying about the pivot screw slowly loosening up on you, so you don't have to keep tightening it over and over and over again. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe for more knife how-to videos and knife reviews, gear reviews, gun videos, and feel free to support me on Patreon, link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Mannix out.